Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Barack and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or this episode, how about LL Cool J and his wife Simone? They've been together for 22 years and they have 4 children, y'all. Can you believe that? 22 years, that's married. So that's not counting the courting phase, because they like high school sweethearts or very, very young sweethearts. And whenever I see them together, I always love their love. You know, she always be with him, he always be with her. You know, for a minute, LL Cool J was aging backwards too.
Still is aging backwards.
You think he's still aging backwards?
Yeah.
He's starting to look a little off to me, because, you know, it looked like he like Russell Simmons. You know, it seems like they shaved their eyebrows. I know they still got eyebrows, but it look like they don't. Because it's just a lot of butterscotch, bald head, and coconut oil going on. Yeah. It threw me off a little bit.
Okay.
When Simone was asked by Queen Oprah how they make their relationship survive, she said it's definitely putting God first. They both definitely come from a spiritual background. There's a lot of compromise, and really being able to pick their battles and respecting each other is something that keeps their relationship strong. What you think about LL and his wife?
Oh, I love they love.
Don't you?
Yeah, you know, it's super low key though.
Ain't that
so
even better?
you never see what they doing out in public, but you know they together.
Yeah, you see what they want you to see, and that's about it. Come on, it's something about keeping your business to yourself, Kevin Hart. Who are you?
I'm Nero.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 49, y'all.
It's 49.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. It's hump day again.
Again. Yeah, so be sure to leave a 5-star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher, and follow us at all forms of social media. Black Love Matters. Remember, that's Black with no K. Baby, what you got?
So what do I have from these past few days? So first I want to do this Emmy recap. It should be called the Blackout. We took that shit, didn't we?
Sure
Finally. But you know, the Emmys always be a little bit more liberal compared to like the Oscars or like the SAG Awards. I feel like the Emmys always come through with it. But first, shout out to Lena Waithe. Remember, we said this. She won first of all, she's the first African-American woman to win the Best Comedy Series in a writer category. But when we seen that, we told y'all a long time ago to watch that Master of None episode Thanksgiving. Did we tweet her or we Instagram?
We tweeted her.
And
we shouted out
us. Did she retweet us or something?
Yeah, she retweeted her ass.
When I tell you it was the truth and nothing but the truth, with Angela Bassett and Kim Whitley in there, I am so happy sis won. Of course, Ava DuVernay came and swept. What's she gonna do? I don't know who touching Ava DuVernay right now, just in aesthetics. I feel like Ava can come out with a silent film, and I'd be like, brilliant, brilliant, and it just be the horizon coming over the Louisiana like landscape, and I'd be like, brilliant. She won it. Donald Glover, he said he don't go by Childish Gambino. It's just Donald Glover.
I still call that nigga Childish Gambino.
Okay, he won Best Actor in a Comedy Series. Also, what's his name? Sterling K. Brown. What's his name? Ronald.
Yeah.
Is his name Ronald?
I don't
know.
And
This Is Us. He was named the best actor in a drama. It was just so good. I was just so happy to see. What is his name from This Is Us? When This Is Us come back, we're going to have a summary of that weekly, y'all. I'll be loving This Is Us. Ooh, it be touching my spirit. Do you like This Is Us or you ain't like it?
I love This Is Us.
This Is Us makes me cry every week. And it's like almost a cry I look forward to.
They always got niggas in their feelings.
What you mean?
They do. This Is Us be having niggas in their feelings.
This Is Us be making you think internally, introspection.
And they be waiting on that daddy to die. That daddy still ain't dead.
He did die.
Oh, when he died?
So you ain't watched the damn show?
I did watch the show.
You don't remember when they had the funeral and the girls playing the funeral for the granddad?
That's the funeral. I'm talking about Milo. They other daddy.
Oh, you talking about the white daddy?
Yeah, the white
I'm talking about the black daddy.
No, I'm not talking about the dude that was in that the talking bird.
The who?
Was he in a movie at the Disney? He's like, he got that
up.
voice to be on Disney to sound like a talking bird or something like that.
Bird. No, you talking about white daddy?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Milo.
Yeah.
No, they ain't say how he died yet. I'm scared to find out. It's gonna be rough, ain't it? They ain't gonna show us either to the season finale or you know how they stop us in the middle of Christmas. That's when they gonna do it. But they cut off Sterling K. Brown. They say he was talking too damn much, honey. They started that music on him.
Oh, they played that Wrap It Up.
They said wrap that shit up and keep on going. Also about the Emmys, they was doing good. You know, I don't know how I feel about this. Sean Spicer. Now he a celebrity, honey.
What Spicy was doing?
Shit. He came on and made an appearance and did like a sketch. See, that's why I'm saying how white people be fickle. 20 days ago, whenever he was in there, everybody was like, oh, he's wrong. He does this. He attacks people. But all of a sudden, now we kiki with him. Now we good friends with him.
I can't wait till his ass is on, what's the name?
Too soon.
Saturday Night Live.
Oh, he going to be on Saturday Night
with
Live.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa.
Spicy versus Spicy.
I'd rather they had her do it than him do it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, this man, he did some rude shit.
He sure did.
He didn't. This wasn't something where it was like, oh, he was just following protocol. He was doing his job, right? He did some rude shit and was talking crazy. Do you know what I'm like?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now we best friends, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you know that's the trend because what's the one who got fired in 10 days? Moochie?
Yeah.
Scary. I don't know. The Sopranos.
The
Mooch. He was hosting TMZ. What the hell is going on? What press secretaries do this shit, right? So that happened. But I just thought it was too soon for the Emmys. Like, you know, that's something they should have did in a year or two. Midterm elections when things are starting to look up. But now it's just a little, I didn't like that. That just showed me how fickle and how crafty they can be. Because they was just cracking up and out. The white liberals was just cracking up in that audience. And it wasn't shit funny.
Sure.
That may be just me. What else is going on with me? I tried to get a rest day, but it didn't work. You ever have a day off that you plan on resting and you do everything but?
What you do?
I don't even know. Like, I woke up and I tried to luxuriate and I went to the market and bought a whole German chocolate cake and I came home and before I knew it was like midnight.
By the way, where's that German chocolate cake?
I had to throw it out.
Oh.
I just had to throw it out. Like, I just kept taking bites of it. You know, you just keep taking slithers of it. Mm-hmm. I was like, why can't I do this to lettuce? Why can't I do this to broccoli? So I just had to throw that motherfucker out. So I tried to do it before you come home. Mm-hmm. I tried to do like a little cleanse in the kitchen so you won't be tempted by the flesh either.
Oh.
By the refrigerator. I said by the flesh.
By
the refrigerator, honey, because that refrigerator will be tempting. So I tried to do that, but it just didn't work. Do you have days like that, Nero?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
Where it's like, dang, I set this day aside to rest. And it just was not accomplished. And yeah, I know I'm going straight again, but I actually have the whole weekend off, which is exciting. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay.
Who is me?
Turn up.
I want to go to the Big E and go buy a gallon of maple syrup.
We will, baby.
Oh, well, for y'all don't know who the Big E is. It's like a big state fair, but for all the New England states. You know, New England, that's what they do a lot. They can't hold a fair on their own, so all the states get together. Mm-hmm. And they just do, and you just eat and you just walk around and see animals. And I think, and that's usually where we buy like our maple syrup and all that good stuff. So I think I'm looking forward to going there too. Speaking of heading back to work, y'all know Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy today. And why was everybody at the box store on 10? I said, oh, this is how I know I'm not cut for this career. They came in talking about Toys R Us on file for bankruptcy. I said, shit, did we? Hell, I got nervous. I said, let me check my bank account. Are you paying me on time? So, you know, everybody in the box store was on 10, gossiping, and just, you know, going forth to that. But I want to say, that don't surprise me. Toys R Us high as hell. Who buys shit from Toys R Us?
Not me.
Ain't it high?
Yeah.
I think I went in there like 2 years ago. So even Babies R Us, like people who register at Babies R Us, I say nobody buying this high ass shit for your baby. Right. You look, continue to put that list. Here's this $20 gift card.
You getting a gift from Marshalls.
Like it be high, like of all the places, but also look, you know, from working at the bot store and also being a shopper there, Amazon is king. Amazon is like is Amazon and Google cousins? Are they related? Are they the same crew? And we don't know. No. Because if them two combined as a merger, they will own the world.
They would.
Jesus. And own the world meaning they know everything about us. They know our needs and wants. And then they direct us to where to go.
And then they sell it to you.
Yes. So if Amazon, Google, and Apple got together, it formed like this monopoly, we'll all be fucked. Is that what they're trying to do?
Well, that's how it is in China. I think it's called like WeChat or something like that. Mm-hmm. So WeChat is like a mixture of a shopping app, like a social network, and like order online and like Yelp all together.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like all of it. So think of like Groupon, Facebook.
So they know folks they know everything about you. And like that's the scary part.
Owns it.
Yeah, they know your trends, and from knowing what you Google and what you shop for and what you do, they can pick up trends. And Jesus. But Amazon is king and Toys R Us is too damn high, honey. Mm-hmm. And who was it? They just came through Walmart, just laid off all their overnight employees.
Damn.
That's come on.
Who gonna put that shit up?
They gonna do it. They switch it today during the day. So while your ass is shopping, they're gonna be up low. So it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be horribly crowded in a mess in them stores. Other than that, y'all stay prayed up. Like, y'all know I love the Lord. Y'all know I always insert in that, but I'm being serious. Y'all stay prayed up. Be it to the Lord, your grand architect, Allah, whoever it is, stay prayed up. Tell the folks that you love them now. Follow your dreams and move forward on that because it's something going on, okay? Y'all hear about that earthquake in Mexico? You've been on the plane all day. Did you hear that earthquake in Mexico?
Yeah, I got a little bit of it. It was like a 7.2 on the Richter scale or something like that.
And I know that's high, but I think it shocked me when I was looking at the news and they just showed it. And the whole damn building just collapsed. And I was like, what the fuck is going on in the world? And they got no warning. Because the thing is, Mexico have earthquakes and stuff. Like they do like, what's it called when you prep? Like drills. Like we do fire drills. They do hurricane and stuff drills. And they actually did a drill earlier that day. In the fire drill, the earthquake happened later that evening. Mm-hmm. Like what the fuck? And like you got, in addition to these earthquakes, you got these hurricanes, these tropical storms, these fires. Y'all get your house in order. Get your house in order because he's coming back again, okay? It is something popping off. Donald Trump is the president. Like, I don't know. You just didn't get this weird feel. Like, it sent chills through me when they told me Mexico had that earthquake.
Man, Mexico about to get ready and float away.
What? And I think Mexico want to. Because they sick of our asses. They sick of sharing borders with us. But I don't know. It just sent me a chill. So, of course, we're praying for all the folks in Mexico and all the folks in the island, Puerto Rico. Like, it's just everybody. That's what I said. It ain't even no one just to pinpoint Cuba. It's everybody. Like, it's like stay prayed up for the world because it's going down. That's why I say just tell the folks you love them, forgive somebody. If you have a dream, go chase that motherfucker right now. Because you don't know what the hell is going to happen tomorrow. But what's going on with you, Nero? Welcome home.
Thank you.
I missed you.
I missed you too, baby. I am glad to be back.
Did you?
I did.
How much?
Well, enough to bring you a little treat.
Oh, Nero done bought me a cupcake that's overturned, flipped. He said it barely made it home.
It barely made it.
Did you barely make it home because you was going to eat it or just because you was going to just throw it out because you was sick of carrying the bag? Because that happens when you travel too.
A little bit of both.
Oh my God, this is worse. I hate carrying bags. I like to go as light as possible when I travel. Ask Nero.
Yeah.
I like to repurpose outfits. I preferably like to buy an outfit when I get there, just so I don't have to carry shit. But go ahead. What's going on with you?
So, my trip to Miami was very interesting. Like I said, I just got recently hired at this tech company, and I had to go down to Miami for training and things of that sort. And let me tell you about this trip to fucking Miami. It was the roughest trip ever.
Yes.
First, we start off on Sunday. I'm flying on the last flight out tonight, Miami from Boston, and that bitch get delayed. And then get delayed again, and then get delayed again.
Well, you got to tell them what time you were supposed to leave.
So it was supposed to leave at like 6. It was supposed to leave at 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept delaying it. And at first, it was like, it's a fog delay. So our plane is here. However, we don't have a crew.
Yeah.
It's like, the crew landed. They'll be here in a second. And then an hour later, it's like, oh, the crew didn't land. They somewhere in New York. And it's like, well,
somebody lying.
So there's like, well, it's so much fog that ain't no planes leaving. There ain't no planes flying in.
Oh, Logan shut down?
Yeah.
Is that what they said?
That's what they said. So then it's like, all right, so are you going to cancel this? Are you going to cancel this? American Airlines, y'all ain't shit. And I'm actually going to call corporate because.
Oh, where's your manager? Where's your manager?
I'm putting on where's my manager haircut and my hat.
Okay.
Because y'all did some fuck shit. Y'all did some fuck nigga shit. So, they kept delaying it like every 30 minutes. They'll delay another 30 minutes, right? To the point where it's like 11 p.m. at the airport. And we like, are we leaving or nah? So what they going to do, instead of canceling it, they bitch asses is going to delay the flight. Air quotes, y'all don't see me. They're going to delay the flight until 9 a.m. the next morning.
I never heard a flight being delayed to the next day like that.
So I
with
knew
such
that was
short
some
notice,
bullshit,
like
right?
Yeah.
So I called my supervisor. You know, she put me up in a hotel. They put me up in Embassy Suites at Logan. First of all, Logan Embassy Suites is on struggle bus.
It's raggedy. Oh,
Yes.
I hate a raggedy hotel.
They hotel is raggedy as fuck, baby girl.
Because I was wondering, because I was going to come stay with
Yeah,
you,
I was
but you
gonna have
really
you
ain't
come
push it.
That shit was raggedy. It wasn't even, it was a suite. It just had a couch. But the couch was old. Like, everything was old. They had like an armoire in there. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sure they charge an arm and a leg at Logan.
Yeah. For that raggedy ass shit. So I wake up in the morning. I've set up enough time because like the hotel is right at the airport. So take a shuttle, and I look at my phone, and my fucking flight has been canceled. And I'm like, you know what? That's that American Airlines bullshit, because everybody was mad and pissed the day before. And it's like, all right, y'all need to accommodate us, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, we can't accommodate y'all because we just delayed it into the morning. Motherfucking can't nobody be sleeping at the airport.
Overnight? That's
Overnight?
Everybody closed at midnight one
Yeah,
night?
they put people out.
Yeah, especially at Boston. Huh?
Like, I think at 2 a.m. they put everybody out. They just shut down.
Yeah, you can sit outside.
The
Wait
fuck?
till these gates open in 2 hours.
And then they gonna fucking cancel it. So they know what the fuck they doing. American Airlines, y'all ain't shit for that. And I want to speak to a manager. I want to speak to a manager.
You gonna have to say that at least 4 times.
I want to speak to a manager, because that's some bullshit. How y'all gonna delay the flight until the morning and then cancel that bitch overnight? Mm-hmm. Y'all niggas knew what the fuck y'all was doing.
Yeah.
So,
and especially for an airport at Boston, like, you know, Boston not a place you can just get a hotel room for $100.
No. So that's the thing. So you get there and they done bump my flight, and since everything was, you know, canceled and things of that sort, all the flights was already booked.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if your ass ain't wake up at 5 a.m. to check,
that's what Nyambi would have did.
Your ass is done. So I'm like, well, the flight leave at 9. Like, I'll be good. Like, I'll just wake up at like 6:45, get dressed, luxuriate for a little bit. Nah. Mm-hmm. So I had to get on flights. I'm calling my supervisor like, hey, they canceled this and things of that sort. Because Monday I was supposed to do a lot of work with them. Like, I was supposed to do whatever. So I get there like 7. Mm-hmm. When it was all said and done, I get to Miami at 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. My boss is like our schedule's all screwed up, but we're going to fix it. Like, we're just going to get you on a later flight on Tuesday. Yeah. And we'll just do huddle training. So I get there, and the first thing we do is get training. She orders something, like we order something from Uber Eats or something like that, and we just start banging out the training. I ain't get home. I ain't get to my hotel until like 11 p.m. You know, it got to the point I was like, all right, sis, like.
Did you say sis to your supervisor? Hey, sis.
Hey, sis. It's getting to the point where I'm going to see you in less than 12 hours. Like, can we just call it a night? Because I'm tired as hell. So get home or get to the hotel.
What did she say when you said
She
that?
said, okay.
She was going to go all night.
We got a long morning ahead of us. So I get there. I get to the hotel. Hotel is bomb.
Was it nice?
Yes.
We have to keep it on our radar when we go. I haven't been to Miami.
Mm-hmm. I was in this area called Brickell or something like that. Mm-hmm. And the hotel was nice. Like, they had a pool, and it was like an infinity pool.
Beautiful.
And then, you know, they had a bar and shit. So I only got to check it out for like literally like 3 minutes. Like, I was up there, and, you know, I was like, let me try to get a drink, and then the bar closed. So I watched a little bit of the Hip Hop Honors, but I'm going to have to watch the rest of that on DVR. It was kind of dope. That was on. Yeah, that happened on Monday. Hip Hop Honors.
What was the thing?
90s. Shout out to the 90s.
The early 90s or late 90s?
90s in general.
Oh, damn. They did a whole decade?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the golden age of hip-hop.
Exactly. So I seen some of that. I think what I seen was the performance Quiet Storm with Mobb Deep and Lil' Kim.
Classic, yeah.
And they had Fabulous play or Fabulous do.
Whatchamacallit? Who passed?
Yeah. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm so damn tired.
Yeah.
So, you know, they did that, and I think like Missy's what the opened, and
I seen her. She had like the I Can't Stand the Rain outfit on.
So from what I heard, it was dope. I was looking at some people live tweeting, and it was dope. So woke up Tuesday and just did training all the way from a hot 9 to 4:45. I didn't get to go to the beach like I wanted to because like the whole schedule got fucked up, and then went straight to the airport. Didn't get to the airport, and then Jose fucking with me. So it's a hurricane up here in New England.
Yeah. Yeah,
but it's not hitting
tropical
land.
storm. I don't know if it's a hurricane.
Well, I think it's a hurricane, but
Category
around
1.
us, it's like a tropical storm. So
Gotcha.
they delayed my damn flight again. I said, Lord, I'm not going to get out this month.
I thought you actually was going to try to switch your flight around and just stay an extra day down there. And be like, we're going to have to skip today for the podcast. I was waiting for you to send me that email.
Yeah.
Like, I was waiting for you to put it on Twitter. No podcast Wednesday.
No podcast Wednesday, y'all.
Yeah.
So do all that, and lo and behold, it's midnight, and we doing what? Recording this podcast because we love y'all.
Yes.
But for all in all, like the training was good. It was more or less like taking a sip from a fire hydrant. Like,
oh, what you mean? I haven't heard that saying.
Well, it's like, you try to drink water, but more than likely you just get wet. Like you trying to like intake all the information and process it, but when it's all said and done, you just end up wet. You end up getting more water on you than you end up drinking. So that's what taking a sip from a fire hydrant means.
Gotcha.
So we gonna make this work. We gonna make this pop off. Let's go ahead and do this. We got any Black Love?
Yes, we do. As always, to submit your Black Love stories, go to www.blacklovematters.com. This week, our Black Love story is Christopher and Carlos Dillard, who've been together for 7 years and married for 3. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
That's a good timing, isn't it? So they dated for about 4 years and then went home and got married. See, we used to folks be like, we've been dating for 2 weeks.
Now we married.
I'm like, what? Or the opposite. We've been dating for about 23 years. I said dating.
Yeah.
Not for 23. Anywho, the story goes, our first question to them was, how did you meet? And they responded, we both met in college and met at a gay dating app. They go to them apps again. What app is it?
I don't know.
Oh, shit. Okay. Most people just use it for hookups, but luckily we both wanting to settle down. What's the app, y'all? Which one do they use it for hookups?
I don't know. The Tinder for it's like what?
What'd you say?
It's Tinder? No.
I don't. Y'all know I barely knew plenty of fish. So I don't know why y'all asking Naomi. That's what I said. What is all these things? So we gotta have. This keeps coming out there, like these dating apps and like dating on, and like we need to have like a straight up round table for folks just to put it all out there. Yeah. Next is, when did each of you know that your partner was the one? Like I said, in college, no one wanted a serious relationship. Being a foster child, I've always wanted a permanent family of my own, and my husband was looking for the same. Next, it says, what's the key to success of your relationship? Communication is especially key in the Black gay community. In the beginning of our relationship, trust was very hard because temptation was everywhere, but we communicated our needs to one another openly and found out what works best for us. Come on.
Shout out
Ain't
to y'all.
communication key for everybody.
Yeah.
Hell, and they talking about temptation rampant in the gay. Nah, it's rampant in all the communities.
Niggas just need to talk.
Did you say niggas need to talk and be truthful? All niggas come to the table.
The 4 agreements. Y'all need to read the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your
word. Be impeccable with your word. Shout out to them. Next is, what advice would you give to young married couples? They said, my number one suggestion is to be selfless. Honestly, if your husband needs sex very often and you aren't that sexual, you need to communicate that and come up with a game plan that works for both of you. Come on, you have to tell. We talked about that. What was in the last episode about, was it rules of engagement? Yeah. Rules of engagement needs to be explicit. I think that's something when I think you asked me, like, where did I learn how to love? Like, that's something I didn't see explicit. And I'm sure, like, my parents, my grandparents, although they had that, but that was never told to me, that you need to go sit down with your partner and say, these are my expectations, or these are yours. Right. Do we agree, or do we need to meet in the middle? Because I think that saves a lot of heartache and headache down the road. And even, bro says, cuz they put it out there on there. Sex is a huge one. I think especially for, maybe when couples get a little older, we haven't got to that point. It's not, but I think especially in the earlier stages, I think sex is very, very important. And on both sides of it. So I think a lot of times we see the issue where maybe one partner is super highly sexual and the other one's not. But I think sometimes you have the trouble when folks want it too much. Does it make? Yeah. That needs to be discussed too. Like, all that needs to be hashed out, and the type of sex you have, and what it looks like, what it feels like, all that. It's more than how often. I guess we're talking about quality over quantity, isn't it? Yeah. Different episode, right? Hey. Oh. So that's really, really good advice. And that idea is to be selfless too. Like, I even like the idea of being self-full. Like, it's okay to be honest in saying the things you need. If this is your partner and they want the best for you, that's what they should want to do, right?
Yeah.
And then next it says, anything else you want to tell about your love story? He writes, my husband and I are both from a broken home. We are both first generation college grads in our family. We are first of a lot of things in our families. And the most beautiful thing about my marriage is that we have struggled together and gained our wealth together. Come on. We both have respect for each other's hustles and willing to help when it's needed. Gay black love, in my opinion, is hard to find. So when you find it and hang on it to it and enjoy it every day of your life. I love your podcast. Thanks for doing what you do. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all.
That was a word, what he said at the end. Because I think a lot of folks go through that. Because a lot of folks reach out to us, say, thank you, we believe in love, X, Y, and Z. But it's something about being with someone and going through that struggle and going through that hustle together, but building up together.
Yeah.
It's about breaking those generational cycles and generational curses. Like, that's what the key to it. So shout out to y'all, Chris and Carlos.
Yeah, shout out to them, especially for being our first gay couple to submit their black love story.
Oh, that is true. I didn't realize that.
So shout out to y'all niggas. Y'all.
Did he say shout out to y'all niggas?
Shout out to y'all niggas.
Never be so abrasive.
Y'all niggas the real MVPs.
Ain't they?
Right, for putting yourself out there. So definitely shout out to y'all.
Yes, and keep them coming. Keep them coming. They had some jewels in that one. We got to make sure we email them, let them know we highlight them.
Yeah, I do that.
Perfect.
In the morning.
You silly. We got some pillow talk.
We do got some pillow talk. So, did we start with Calvin Hart?
Oh, we just came off this beautiful black love story. These two men done grew together through college. They came from broken homes, first gen, then grew, and then you're gonna go talk about this bullshit.
Well,
I think all the black community know what's going on. You want to give a quick summary what the hell is going on with Kevin Hart? Jesus.
Kevin Hart out here doing Kevin Hart things,
What are Kevin Hart? I know he doing nigga things.
He doing nigga things.
What was it on Boondocks? A nigga moment?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He had a nigga moment. For niggas who don't know, Kevin Hart cheated on his first wife.
And his second.
And allegedly he cheated on his second wife.
And allegedly gonna be his third one too.
So from what I heard and seen, his ass is getting extorted. Old girl.
What is it? What you call it now?
Extorted.
Oh, they said torted. I said, what is that? What is that?
No, that nigga being extorted.
Where they come up with this one? Okay.
So, the side chicks out here trying to extort his ass for money and shit.
Extortion.
Yeah, that's what I said, extort.
Oh, okay.
Side chicks out here trying to extort his ass. So, he went on Instagram.
The gram.
And, put it on out there. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I done fucked up. I done did some bad things. I just want to apologize to my kids and my wife. And go from there.
Are you waiting for Naomi response?
He did that shit because he didn't want to pay the side chick no money. Yeah. Allegedly.
I think he just didn't want to pay her $10 million. I think if she would have maybe went for one, she could have got it.
Because the last thing I heard, she's supposed to be taking a polygraph for $400K.
On what?
I don't know.
What channel is this be on? Nobody want to watch that.
One of my things.
It's the truth.
So one of my things I found very interesting. I know you got your opinion on
yes,
this.
I do.
But one of my things that I found very interesting is like the side chick put out these videos and all this other stuff, made statements like, Kevin Hart was so drugged up and high.
Oh,
See,
I think it's something more than the story. It's more than folks just laying up.
And she's like, I found it easy to like record him during these sexual acts. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
If the roles were reversed, Kevin Hart has to be in jail.
For what?
Shit. Recording for shit, doing porn without no consent.
Oh, you saying who said he ain't consent?
Well, this nigga, if he
this nigga looking in the camera.
No. If reportedly she said he was so drugged up and high that he didn't recognize the camera while he blowing her back out. What the heck? That sounds like a rape scene to me. That sounds like if a bro nigga did that, a bro type did that in college to one of these white girls, his ass would be having some rape allegations.
I think Kevin Hart was making clear contact with that camera like he was in Soul Plane Part 2.
Nah.
I don't think this was one thing
I
where
can't
it was
roll with you on that
where it was like, oh my goodness, let me have couth. I ain't know somebody was filming me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was drunk and high.
Okay.
Rules to engagement, consent.
Mm-hmm.
You can't You can't give consent if you're drunk and high.
Near, now you joining these niggas out here who reaching.
No, I'm not reaching, but I'm just saying if the shoe was on the other end, on the other foot, his ass would be in jail. Because old girl would be like, he raped me. I was drunk and high, and I can't give no consent.
Okay. What the Bill Cosby?
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's a lot of sad male tears that are going around. All around.
Meaning?
From Kevin Hart to you, other black men. Like, it's just a lot of sad male tears that are just crying. He got caught up.
He did get caught up.
He caught up. I mean, my thing is, I try not, there's a no judgment free zone. He fucked up. The only person he owed apology to was his wife and his kids. Mm-hmm. I think doing on Instagram was a bit too much for me. I really don't know if the public cared that much. Does that, like, okay, so if this video come out him fucking, and it was blurry, it was, as Neron would say, it's filmed on an Android. I'm not saying don't say nothing. Don't respond to it. Mm-hmm. So what happened to that? But I did forget that is Jumanji by Disney. He fucking up his Disney money. Is that why he came out with the Instagram video on that hurricane relief to distract us?
Probably. He tried to Donald Trump our ass.
Look over here. Look over here. Look over here.
Yeah. Like, I think a lot of things going on that we probably won't know or it'll eventually come out.
You know who winning is? What's his first wife's name? Tory Hart.
Tory Hart.
She said because what's the wife he got now? The Inoke what's her name? I don't know. Some culturally ambiguous brown woman.
But she's nice and pregnant too.
Yeah, we ain't even get on that. But remember, she was talking trash about his first wife, talking about she was insecure and that's not what he did. Because let's not forget, just like A. Keys, Nokia was a side chick.
What'd you say? Nokia?
I don't know her name. I don't. Whatever.
Nokia was a side chick.
She was her side, like. Uh-huh. Or it came very close, very swiftly. She came swiftly from the back on the tail end of that divorce to his first wife. And she the only one should be sipping tea.
Maybe
how
she
you
already
get them
know.
How you keep them, honey.
Maybe
she didn't know because she was looking really dumb.
Maybe she already
in every picture that's flashed of her. She's looking in shock. So that's the only person who really winning in this situation. Kevin Hart first wife, because she said, I told you this is trend. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's human. Everyone makes mistakes. He apologized. I forgive him. Hey. Like, I never really been here for Kevin Hart to begin with.
I know you haven't.
I don't know. Something I can't trust his eyes.
What?
I don't know. I just don't trust Kevin Hart. Like, when it comes to comedians, I feel like there's a sense of connection I usually have. Like, even with Steve Harvey and his old, I don't even know, cat daddy ass. Like, it's just a sense of, I don't know, connection. Like, I feel like I know the type of nigga Steve Harvey. Like, it didn't really surprise me that he talked to Donald Trump. Does that, like, Kevin, I can't put my finger on it. Like, it's just not no sense of, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Like, some of his stuff is funny, some of it's not, the majority. But, good luck to him. What do you think about this idea of the public apology, though? Was that needed?
Yes.
For who, though? For his image or for his wife? Like, if it's his wife, I feel like I'd be more embarrassed. I'm like, sit down.
He needed it for his image. He needed to get ahead of this.
So so he worried about, that's the same thing. Yeah. So his core audience ain't Negroes then. So he worried about his white audience.
Yes, he ain't worried about the niggas.
If it was just us, he would have did nothing.
He wouldn't did nothing. But he worried about them white people. He been doing
more than just white people. He worried about that Disney, PG-13 money.
He doing movies with The Rock and shit. So he got
no more.
He got to get that. He got to straighten up and fly right.
Yeah, he doing.
So he got to go ahead and put that shit out there. He got to get ahead of this shit. I know his marketing team is like, all right, we got to go ahead. This shit about to come out. Old girl trying to extort your ass. So let's go ahead and get you a foundation going real quick for the hurricanes. That's good. Oh shit! Another national disaster that happened. So let's go ahead and do another one. Let's put some money up. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get that now. All right, go ahead and make this a public apology. Go ahead and get it out there before they figure out about the extortion shit. So then you get the public apology out there. Like, I'm sorry, baby. I know I was wrong. I'm a cheater. I'm a dog. Please forgive me. And then next thing you know, you hit it with boom. She trying to extort me for money. I ain't trying to give her no money.
Was I the only one? Maybe I'm.
And then they turned her ass into jail, into the police.
The FBI. The FBI don't got nothing else to do. So worry about a Kevin Hart trial and bitches cheated. The FBI get involved with. I'm sorry, this the hood in me. FBI get involved. Like, I feel like I'm Kevin Hart. This woman trying to get money because I fucked around. Good luck. That's what the FBI should have said. Pay her or don't pay her.
Hey.
Like, what is that really a thing?
Yeah, extortion is really something.
I know extortion, but usually it's at higher level things. He just can't tell her, I'm not going to pay you.
Then her ass is going to release the shit.
Okay.
That's why he had to get ahead of it. Because that's the thing.
But why is the FBI involved?
Because.
So she releases this tape, then what?
Revenge porn.
Okay. I'm so tired of all these male tears.
What?
I just can't. I can't.
What? Revenge porn.
Cannot.
These are the laws.
Now I'm a white Republican. Y'all are wasting my motherfucking tax dollars on some bullshit.
No, this shit is equal. This shit is equal.
Take that money that the FBI is using to investigate Kevin Hart and look into global warming.
No.
Because we got hurricanes and earthquakes going on.
We
worried about him and the Nokia and whatever. And this woman who trying to get 10 million. What?
I just don't understand Naomi when the shoe was on the other side and it's the man.
You don't ever hear bitches talking about You don't. It never on the other side. It doesn't work that way for us. What you mean? Bill Cosby is damn near 80 and been fucking bitches for the last 40 years. Ain't been to jail. Just fill in the blank with the names. Men have done this for years. Superhead. Y'all niggas would have thought Superhead just came and killed every black man in hip hop. And this bitch just wrote a book about nothing that's facts. Y'all just fragile.
No.
Stop fucking around and keep your dick in your pants. Or be boss enough to ask for open relationships.
That's what he should have did.
Come on. See, I don't feel sorry for nobody in this. The children maybe. Because they have school age. I wish they were a little younger. And the kid, you know what I'm saying? Because if they did this when they were younger, by the time they grew up, it'd be old news. But I think they school age, honey. And I know kids is ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
So they better not say nothing in school because I know that's the first clap back.
That's why your daddy getting extorted, nigga. Sextorted.
So that's the only people I feel sorry for in this whole situation is his children. But them other grown folks in it, y'all grown. Kevin Hart, you grown. You grown. You made a decision. You made a bad decision.
I get that. But don't get mad at that nigga.
But you calling the FBI?
Why not? This bitch is trying to extort me. Trying to get me for my millions.
No.
She say no, and then she still put that shit out.
Well, you shouldn't have did it.
I'm trying to stop this shit.
Okay.
That's why I get the FBI involved. You know, this is all the revenge porn laws and all that shit.
So could Kim Kardashian who put out her tape? Ray J?
No.
She put it out?
She did.
Yeah, her mama. Contest you in first place.
Her mama put it out.
Come on. Well, maybe Kevin should just put his out.
Hey, probably should.
I don't know. I'm sorry to be so nonchalant about this, but I'm just even when I seen it, I just kind of rolled my eyes. It took all my might to just even watch the Instagram video, because usually when folks just do too much, it's something ain't right. You know, and that it. Shout out to Kevin's first wife. Shout out to his second, soon to be second wife. But sis, stay. Anoki, stay. Don't just leave, honey.
She ain't leaving.
Eventually, I say give it 5 years, sis, and then go ahead and bust that Janet Jackson move.
She got to fulfill this prenup.
Fulfill the prenup. Go ahead and get the kids in school. You know, get the little one in school, and then after that, throw the deuces, honey.
What else we got?
Oh my goodness. Did you see? Okay, so I like Wendy Williams. I have a love-hate relationship with Wendy Williams, but Wendy Williams is one of the OG in this gossip game, and she ain't been giving a fuck since day one. So I can't do nothing but put respect on her name. Well, her and T.I. always be having a back and forth. I guess over the summer, Wendy was luxuriating on the beach with her husband, and for y'all should know Wendy Williams. She kind of shaped up like a pea. So she's she lost a lot of weight. So she's super, super skinny, but she has like a boob job. Mm-hmm. So imagine like a size 2 or 4 frame with like triple D titties and no ass. So they had her all on, of course, TMZ who be everywhere, honey. How TMZ get to Barbados too? So they got a picture of it, and then T.I. gonna send this passive aggressive shit. He must have learned it from his white friends, talking about, see, I could roast you and be disrespectful like you are to other people, but I'm gonna try a better route and be just a nice person, and I ain't gonna clap back. Maybe by me being nice, you would think of being nice to other people. And usually Wendy Williams is the queen of not responding. So she the type, I wouldn't say she did shit but can't take it, but she the type who don't respond to it. Uh-huh. Like, so if somebody started talking about Wendy Williams to me, she'd just be like, huh? Who is it? Who? Like, even I think this stuff with her and Charlamagne.
She been saying Charlotte who for the longest.
She said she act like she don't know who the fuck he is. And they did business for over 10 years, had this highly successful show, everything. She act like she don't know. But this one, her show came back and she clapped back like, what the fuck are you talking about? And just basically put him in his damn place. Like, what is it? What's wrong with T.I.? Don't he have about 10 children he need to worry about? That's another one. They have a lot of stuff going on, but you feel like you need to talk to Wendy Williams. That's her job. Her job is to talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
That is to move forward. Why are you in your feelings?
Well, you know, some niggas got to have something.
What?
Niggas got to say
What
something.
What is going on with T.I. though? It's something going on with it. It's like a whole crew of them. Kevin Hart, T.I., Tyrese all come to the front of the congregation because all y'all niggas is just in y'all niggas' feelings. Like, just really overly emotional.
Naomi, don't shame these niggas.
I'm not shaming them.
These niggas on the brink of a nervous breakdown.
You think they on a nervous breakdown?
They out here like Jim Carrey is. What the fuck is he be saying?
Jim Carrey.
We are nothing. I'm not here. You not here.
He was on some good white powder, wasn't he? He was on some good nose candy. He was high as a kite in that interview. Y'all, it was something I think was on E, and he was at some award show, and he answered every question this woman asked, but the one she asked. She'd be like, "How are you tonight?" He's like, "My favorite color is blue." Like, "What's your favorite movie?" "I Love the Lord." Look, what are you talking about, Jim? And you know he a comedian, so it's like I don't know if he playing.
So that's the thing I was coming out because then it came out here that he's starting a new TV show. So I was like, I don't know if this was a ploy.
No, he was high, allegedly.
Either way, I feel like all the Tyrese, Kevin Hart, and T.I., all these niggas on the verge of mental breakdowns.
Y'all better do some self-care. They better do like on that documentary that had Common and Russell Simmons with no eyebrows and LL Cool J. They were to get them green smoothies and meditate.
Hey, I'm telling you, you better go vegan.
Yes. The next thing I was going to talk about was just overall university bullshit, right? So the first thing is, let's start positive. Want to do a shit sandwich?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so positive. So the University of California, Berkeley school received a federal funds for a Black Panther Party legacy project. All right. So Newsroom reports that the university received federal funding for a grant that's about $100,000 for the Black Panther Research, Interpretation, and Memory Project. The project would last from the end of August, so it's already started, to September 2019, and it include a comprehensive collection of local Black Panthers history through the acquisition of additional materials from diverse sources, including video, oral history, photographs, news coverage, and other media, and then disseminating that publication to incorporate some primary sources from the original Black Panther organization's records. Also, the project is plans to compile in an annotated bibliography of all the information and sources for understanding kind of the history of the Black Panther Party. And it's going to be shared not only with the school, but broadly. So overall, the project hopes to bridge the generational, cultural, and regional gaps in dialogue on race relations, economic inclusion, opportunity, and other critical imperatives that divide diverse populations. Mm-hmm. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out.
That's amazing. I think when I first heard it, what the hell? It ain't already no history or oral history on the Black Panthers movement?
No, because they thought that was a terrorist group.
Who was they? White
people. But they didn't want to call KKK a terrorist group.
Come on, I bet they got a whole fucking library.
But they want to call niggas who giving out free lunches.
And everything else. But I was just happy to see. I think my first thought was, where the HBCUs at? Why you keep breathing heavy?
Because I think one of the reasons why the HBCUs didn't get this look is because when I think of Black Panther Party, I think of West Coast. Yes. I do think of UC Berkeley and that area and things of that sort. And there's just no black college over there.
But I think when I think of black colleges, I think of Black history.
Oh.
I think of Black culture. I think of maintaining Black culture. Why are you laughing?
I get what you're saying.
I mean, I imagine them as the keepers of Black knowledge.
Oh.
You don't think that?
No.
I understand it's heavy on the East Coast. That's kind of was the foundational ground for it. Mm. But we're talking about now I can't even get the right word. It almost needs to be a center. This is just a grant. There should be a Black Panthers Learning Center where all of that stuff there. The Black Panthers is not functioning now.
There was a new Black Panther Party. Oh. But when I think of all the greats, I feel like they still all West Coast though. Ain't Angela Davis still in L.A.?
Just because someone's on the West Coast don't mean that you can't. It's plenty of universities that
the guy who started Kwanzaa, Malana Karenga, Dr.
Yes.
Karenga, ain't he over there in UC somewhere?
Yes, I mean there's an HBC over there. I just don't know the name of it. I'm sure, but my thing is, it's still HBCUs are the keeper of knowledge. Eventually, they gonna die.
Yeah.
And where's going to be who are going to be the gatekeepers to pass this info on? Because I know what really got me where they said the purpose of this project is to build generational, cultural, and regional gaps in dialogue and race relations. Mm-hmm. So this is race relations. I'm talking about our own community. The babies who was born in 2000s, Jesus, barely know about the Black Panthers movement.
Right.
So within our own culture, folks don't know about it. And how do you continue to pass those stories forward? Like, I'm like, there's not a Black Panther museum?
No.
Monument?
No.
I just assumed that was invented.
No, and the nigga museum is too broad to have.
Don't do that.
Like it's so broad because it's supposed to encompass all
from the 1400s
all until now.
To now.
For 1400s to Obama. So we need
Did
one
you say to Obama.
Yeah.
Why is Obama air?
So we just need one strictly for
Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Because even learning, because it's history to even learning, foundationally what bits and pieces they pulled this from. Like, I'm sure they pulled up some beats from like Marcus Garvey. Like, how did they were even in the thinking. The thing is, you still have folks who are alive.
Yeah.
Who did these things. Like,
yeah.
And we need to get to them while they're alive and kicking. But I think it did just surprise me. It's like, well, where are HBCUs? And I know what you're saying, it's on the West Coast, but it should be in collaboration with UC Berkeley and the HBCU. I
wonder if they're gonna bring out some of the docs from COINTELPRO.
What? I don't know what you just said.
You don't know COINTELPRO? That's the what was that FBI nigga?
What?
The white FBI nigga that was dressing up like women.
Hoover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was you don't know about COINTELPRO? It was like short for like counterintelligence
program.
Okay,
yeah, I know that. I know what the hell you just said. Oh, yeah, how they were spying on them.
Yeah, how they was like, infiltrating Black Panther Party and like spying and things of that sort. I wonder if they're going to go into some of these tapes and get some of this classified documents and unclassified.
Well, I don't know. It's the money from the federal government. They might try to Kevin Hart us. They might be trying to clean it up and rewrite history. Like they did the slaves.
Yeah.
So they might try to rewrite history to be like, we was trying to work. The government's trying to help them.
Forced migration.
They might say they was trying to work in, collaboration with the Black Panthers. They might try to do some witchcraft on us. See, that's what I'm saying. We giving power back to other folks to tell our history. No one but us can tell our history like we can.
Exactly.
And I'm appreciative of Berkeley and the federal funds, but I do think, maybe I need to look into it a little further. It does need to be in collaboration, I believe, with HBCU or at least scholars of color who study this. I know somebody if they're looking for a name.
I do too. Agreed.
So, so I'm excited about it, but I want to just be careful that we own our history and we tell our story and not let others tell our story.
Okay.
I get very possessive over that if you didn't know, Neil.
So that was the good part of the sit sandwich.
Let's continue with the good part.
Okay, we're going to keep going with the good part.
Yes.
What else we got?
So we have that Harvard is to honor a few folks with their W.E. Du Bois Medal of Honor. So the medal honors those who have made a significant contribution in the African American history and the culture. The recipients being honored include Donna Brazile, so the Democratic political strategist, Kara Walker, Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, educator Jennifer Ward, John Thompson, and Ford Foundation President Darren Walker. Additionally, also Ava DuVernay and LL Cool J are also being honored. So I have to say, shout out to that. This war, I think it's only been going on for it's under a decade, so maybe 5 to 7 years. Mm-hmm. And I just, again, every time Black culture, Black people, and just folks of color are being honored and celebrated for being authentically them, I'm always excited to stand up and shout about it.
That's what's up.
Again, it's Harvard. Harvard trying though. Well, thank you, Harvard. Thank you for acknowledging our folks. Any thoughts on that, Nero? Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's all I got for it. All right.
You said that's all I got.
Yeah. So that means they're going to be in Cambridge.
Yeah, they're going to be down the street, so.
I need to figure out when so I can go. So I can talk to Avra.
What do you have to talk about, Miss? What do you have to talk about?
I want to picture our Black Love Matters podcast and see if we can get some. Yeah.
And tell her, what's she going to do? Like, what is she going to, you go to her with a plan.
I am. Like what a documentary. We're going to do a docu-series.
Nigga, they just came with one.
We're going to do a response to them.
A response. This is not a rap beef. What are you talking about?
We're going to do a response to their docu-series.
No. You
I need to
think
come up with
better
something
than that.
Well, I might have to come up with something else.
We'll think of something else. All right, let's go for the shit.
Okay, what you got?
The White House hires a new HBC executive director to fulfill Trump promises to black schools.
What was Trump promised to black schools?
I guess not to shut them down. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know he made a promise. So the White House announced that the lawyer and former NFL player Jonathan Holyfield, I hope I'm saying that right, will assume the role of the executive director of the White House Initiative on Historically Black Colleges and University. This position has been vacant since the inauguration, so almost a damn year. As executive director, Holyfield will be responsible for the transition of HBC oversight to from the Department of Education to the White House. Pause. That's the first fucking problem. Why isn't the HBCU under Department of Education, and why is it going directly to the White House?
So they can go ahead and take that money away from them. You know why?
Jesus, this is stupid.
You know why?
This is the same shit they do in universities. They'll have diversity under umbrella. What now is a diversity? You're gonna report directly to the president.
Right.
The fuck? Why? What the?
I want all the niggas to report to me.
Niggas, no, I won't. No niggas making no moves unless I know. That's how I take it. No niggas making moves. No autonomy.
Nope. Y'all don't get a department.
You don't get a department. You get this cubicle outside my office. And
I go play.
And what within this construct? I done gave you MLK Day. Now go sit down. The Holyfield has limited HBCU experience, but does have some experience for writing and consulting on innovation and inclusiveness. Holyfield starts his position on October 2nd. Where do I start with the bullshit? So I've already talked about I'm worried about it being switched from the Department of Education to just the White House. Mm-hmm. Why would you remove colleges and universities from education? Again, where's Betsy DeVos?
Because Betsy don't give a fuck. Don't nobody give a fuck about us.
Which... As Betsy, as Secretary of Education, I'm like, you're not taking no fucking higher education entity out of the Department of Education. They can have a dual reporting structure, but you're not taking it out of it. Like, wouldn't that be just an initial gut response to be like, no, you can't have all the black schools?
That don't make sense.
And then, have you taken the HBCUs? Are you taking the HSIs, the Hispanic serving institutions?
Nope.
Come on.
You know why?
Why?
Because they send their ass back.
They complete that wall.
They gonna build that wall and they send all the DACA motherfuckers back.
They said bye. They said it ain't gonna exist no more.
My question is, what they gonna do about the black DACAs? Like the ones that's like from all these islands, like Jamaica or shit like that. I'm for real.
They ain't even thought about that, honey. They gonna the black DACAs gonna never mind.
Because it's a number of black DACAs too. I think it's like 800,000 something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
it's just equal amount.
Yeah.
You know. The colorism in all communities is deep, honey. They make it seem like it's just a black problem, African American problem, but it's definitely a Latino problem, honey. Mm-hmm. Another episode. They might feel more connected to the African American community once that hit the fan, honey. Look, now you black. Welcome. You're not white no more.
Right.
But we're not talking about that now. We're talking about this. What's his name again? Jonathan Holyfield.
Yeah.
So next, he has no HBCU experience.
This nigga ain't went to a HBCU. He ain't never been to a football game.
Do he know what it stand for? He ain't been to the classic.
He ain't been
the Bayou Classic.
He ain't been to no Bayou Classic.
He ain't even seen Drumline. He don't know about the culture. And lastly, does he know even anything about education? So the thing is, okay, I might even be, I'm teasing, but I might be able to let the HBCU piece slide if he had experience in higher ed. Do he have experience in higher ed?
Child, this nigga got an MBA.
Y'all HBC presidents and executive leaders, y'all better hold his ass to the fire. I don't know what agreements that the White House made or promised to y'all, but you're probably not going to get them. But at least you can maintain the status quo. So at least he won't shut y'all down and maybe don't change your funding or nothing like that. I don't know why they choose this man. He kind of looked like somebody else.
This nigga author, speaker, and consultant.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, I don't see none in there that said educator.
This nigga ain't got a .com web address.
What's it called?
JonathanHolyfield.tech.
What? Connect with him on LinkedIn. I'm gonna send him a LinkedIn request and see what he say.
Oh shit, son.
We don't got no good sits.
That's
but
what I want to see. I want to see. We're talking about education.
Y'all don't understand. Niram is looking this man up right now. See, you just connect with them. Just connect with them.
I should.
Let's see. It say I got a mutual connection. Who is it? Don't say their name out loud.
I'm gonna connect with this nigga.
Oh my goodness. But I just don't.
I just friended this nigga on
LinkedIn.
So
we'll let you know if he responds to us, y'all.
So I can get all his information.
You got anything else on this man?
This nigga ain't went to no black college.
Yeah, check his credentials. Let me make sure I'm not talking out the side of my mouth. Make sure that he did not. I don't think he went to no type of HBCU.
Well, that's what I'm looking for, to see what the hell.
Oh, he ain't have it on his LinkedIn pro? He didn't, though, because y'all know how y'all HBCU people is.
No, because you know they'll put it there. I went to the U, baby.
I went to the I be like, Jesus, I ain't never seen folks. No, I don't see nothing. No. The University of Oklahoma by
Economic Development Institute.
No, his credentials do not match up. Nope.
This nigga a public speaker.
And a blogger.
Yeah, he a blogger for the HuffPost.
Oh, co-founder and principal. Nope, nothing.
The Scale Up Partners. What the hell is that?
Nothing. Okay, Nero, move on. Next story. Want more bullshit?
Yeah, what you got for me?
The last piece of bullshit I have, and then I'll give it to y'all with little sugar on the end. The Lipscomb. Am I saying this right? It don't even matter. The Lipscomb. Am I saying that?
Lipscomb.
Whatever. Sounds trash. University apologizes for having cotton stalk centerpieces at dinner for black students.
Y'all ain't used to this?
I've been flip the fucking table. So the president of this university, a predominantly white private university in Nashville, Tennessee, invited a group of African-American students to his home for dinner last week. The gathering was meant to be an opportunity for students to openly discuss their experience in school. However, that plan went awry when students were offended by the cotton stalk centerpiece used to decorate a table for dinner. The president released an apology to the students. What type of bullshit? Could you imagine? And I think it's the content. So this is not like this is a university-wide.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
No.
Okay, we messed up.
He did.
You invited Negroes to your house, and you have the nerve to. First of all, cotton is not decoration.
No.
You had a nerve to put a glass in the middle of the table and put some cotton on it. Shout out to the black kids who took the receipts and took a picture of it.
Wait a minute.
For receipts. Who are these PR people? Who are the PR folks?
Well, they just thought, well, this is fly. Let me just go ahead and put this cotton.
Did you say this is fly? He said this is nice and earthy.
Right. He didn't even think about the other shit.
That's how far removed they are to the experience, to connecting with us, to our community, to caring about who we are and what we've done. So insensitive. Mm-hmm. Ignorance must be bliss. What you would have did if you seen that?
Oh, yeah. I would have flipped the table.
What?
I would have been pissed and said, excuse me, Mr. President.
I would have. They good for waiting for the dinner was
right.
over.
Excuse me, Mr. President. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I'm not picking this cotton at the dinner. Fuck you. I'm not picking this shit.
That would have got me riled up.
Now, then, or ever.
Well, it take a certain type of Negro to go to this school anyway.
Yeah.
A private school in rural Tennessee. No, ma'am. And it's predominantly white private. Yeah. And I ain't never heard of it. You see, with the private schools, the small ones, you really have to worry about them. But I always say stick with the first name, last name schools.
Yeah.
So if it starts like with a first name or a last name, like Mary.
William and Mary.
Yeah, that type of stuff is okay, right? Because they're a little bit more liberal. But the ones here, they don't got first name, last names. You got to wash their asses. You don't know what they doing up in there.
We need to come up with a black one, like Frederick and Tyrone.
I kind of love it.
What school you went to? I went to Frederick and Tyrone.
Come on. No, that'd be like Frederick and Obama.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the Obama Institute, honey. Shout out to the Obamas. We got to talk about them. They got a lot of fellowships and a lot of institutes coming out. I'm about to apply to something.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to touch the hem of the garment of the Obamas.
Right.
Because they living their best damn life, ain't they?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the closing to the shit sandwich at who was it? I think it's Howard University. Let me make sure I got the right school. Well, they finally opened a barbershop on the campus. I was like, what the fuck? I said, them boys be clean. I know it's not the first barbershop they had, but it turns out that it's free.
Oh, on Howard campus?
Yeah.
Shut the noise.
I just want to make sure I'm saying the right school, but it's you get haircuts and it's all paid. All you do is make an appointment. And I'm like, that's what's up. Like, do you remember being in college and just being poor as hell?
Yeah.
And would kill to have
a free haircut?
A free haircut.
Oh, shit.
Hell, I wish they would just add $20 to the fee bill and include it. Now they need to just get something for the sisters, because it's hard to find someone to do your hair that's within your budget too. So,
right.
that's my, as I like to say, my shit sandwiches for university. It's been crazy, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I got another topic. You still up for it, Near? Or are you crashing?
Yeah, come on, baby. What you got? What you got?
So let's talk a little bit about boundaries.
Okay.
So one of the most vital components to creating, I think, a happy, healthy, and fulfilling relationship is to become this master at setting boundaries. So simply put, boundaries are what we set, I believe, in a space between where you and the other person begins and ends. So I think boundaries are clear. It was helped clearly define that. So depending on your upbringing and kind of past experiences, setting boundaries in relationships can be really, really easy or super difficult for you. A lot of times I like to think we had like parents or guardians or like folks who were in our life a lot during our childhood who didn't know how to set boundaries with us. Then we have to kind of learn how to set those boundaries in other relationships or vice versa. So you have these people who are really good about setting these boundaries and you learn good habits. So basically I think it's really from childhood where we get these, I don't want to lose the schemas. That's the academic word for it.
Construct of boundaries.
That's a very academic way to say it too. But like these ideas, these pictures of what things are supposed to be and look like. And if it's hard to break as you get older, basically what I'm saying. And so we have to learn kind of when it's the proper time to set these boundaries and how to find a balance in setting these boundaries so they're not too weak or they're not too strong, because I think having that extreme can be bad. So to begin with, Niram, I want to ask you kind of what's your experience kind of with boundaries and growing up?
Oh, my family are highly boundaried.
What?
Everyone is probably overly boundaried.
Why do you say that?
Because I even think like growing up.
Yeah.
Like I had my house key when I was in first grade because nobody was at home.
Did you say? How old was you? You was a baby.
I was a baby.
What?
I was captain of the safety patrol.
Oh, shout out to I was the lieutenant of the safety patrol. Shout out to the safety patrol and the, what is it called? The service squad.
Yeah.
The kids still got safety patrol and service
I don't
squad.
know.
Or the parents now, they don't even let their kids eating gluten. I can't imagine they letting their kids stay outside.
So, I was
Too
the
much
captain of the
allergies.
safety patrol. Mm-hmm. My mama had to work. Daddy was gone. So it was just me.
I thought you was about to sing a song. Mama gotta eat. Daddy, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Hustle hard.
Yeah, hustle.
So, my boundaries were very, I was just very boundary because, I was the only one at the crib and, my mom was there for the weekend, but I was just in the room or I wasn't there. So, I was just highly boundary. Like, don't talk to me. I see you when I see you. Let me know when dinner's done.
So how was your parents' boundaries though? So that's how you were. How were they?
I think they were super boundaries as well. Just on the fact that everybody worked. Yeah. So they wasn't at home. So when, they was only at home for a few hours at a time. So, they'll kick it then. Mm-hmm. And then, shit went to hell. Oh,
thank you, Nero.
Yeah.
So y'all didn't so what were the boundaries that you and your parents had? Like what was a boundary that your parents had that you think was very, very defined?
I think some of the things is when it came to money or taking care of the house stuff, certain people took care of certain things. My pops, when he was there, was in charge of mortgage and things of that sort. Mom did utilities and, groceries and things of that sort. So coming to that was one of the things. Yeah, but let me finish. I'm also thinking about my pops cheated. Mm-hmm. So, it was some set of boundaries there when it came to sex and love life and I'm just going to do what I want to do. And when I come home, don't ask me no questions type of thing.
God damn. Lord help me.
Yeah. So I even remember I brought this up before, Pops used to take me over his other woman's house and I used to play with the other kids while he was getting it in. Mm-hmm. And him being don't tell your mama where we at.
Yeah.
If she asks you, tell her to ask me instead. So that was a boundary of information. That was knowing that it was harmful for her or their relationship. But
and what was your thoughts on that?
At that age, I was okay. I was just trying to stay out of it. Mm-hmm. And then Mom tried to threaten me with Christmas.
Okay. So how do you think that's influenced you now as an adult?
I think one of the ways that has affected me as an adult is that I'm very boundary myself when it comes to certain things in life. I just don't want like people in my business, or like I think even like how we interact. Like you're very like huggy, touchy feely type person, where I'm not. So it's like I can count on my hand like the number of people that I've actually gave hugs to.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, like you give hugs to everybody.
Why you say like I just go handing them out?
You do.
No, I don't.
Give me a hug. So like I think that's one of the things that has affected me, because like your love language is like hugs and things of that sort, and like snuggles and things of that sort, and I'm like I can actually do without. And I think that just comes from the fact that nobody was at home, and when they were at home, it wasn't no like physical things to show that a person loved you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Physically they did, but in other ways they showed it by providing.
Like dinner was always done.
Yeah.
Always had clothes.
Yeah.
Things of that sort.
So how does that even like this idea of boundaries come when you interact with like friends? So I know we were talking about romantic, but what about friends and family?
I think it's the same thing. Like, I think it's the same thing where, some friends be like, give me a hug or something like that. And I'm like,
you stiffen up like a boy.
Give me a pound. There you go. Dap. There you go, player. But I also think that when it comes around, like when I'm around a group of people, I'm usually like the quietest one versus like me being one-on-one and talking to people. So I think that has an effect on like boundaries and things of that sort.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, when I think of myself in boundaries, I'm very unboundary person.
Absolutely.
I'm probably the one that people have to set boundaries with, because I believe in being very fluid and truthful in the moment and unapologetically me. I think for my family, I think it's divided. So I think my mother's side of family is definitely more unboundary. So meaning they're more willing to express themselves verbally, tell each other how they feel, argue, overstep boundaries, talk too much, maybe say things that don't need to be said. That's but still at the end of the day can come back to it. But I think on the flip side, my father's family is very different. So I think him and his family have a lot of things that's unsaid. So, the difference is I say between the families is, so say if something go down in my dad's family, they're like, oh, that's just how he is. Just don't worry about it. Or go down my mom's family, we creating a foam tree. What did they say? Hold on. Beep, beep, beep. So-and-so said, you said this, what we doing? Like, it's just, and sometimes I think both approaches are needed, right? So I think sometimes, yes, you just have to give people their space, and you just have to love them. And sometimes you have to love people from a distance, and that's okay. And I think my dad's family do that really well. But sometimes, like my mom's family, sometimes you have to get in people's asses to be like, I care about you. I love you. We working through this, and we're not going to stop till we get to the end. I like to say that I'm a happy medium of them both, but I think I tend to lean more on the unboundary side, but I'm unboundary in certain areas. So I think it comes off to Niram that I'm very unboundary, because I'm unboundary when it comes to affection. So when it comes to showing love, physically, affection, touch, listening to other people, like I said, I try to be the friend that if you tell me something, I'm going to have the blanket stare, because nothing you're going to say going to shock me, right? I try to be that friend where it's like, you can throw what you're going to throw at me. Like, it ain't going, come on, keep going. Like, I'm that. But I will say I'm very boundary when it comes to me sharing. So I think I can be very closed off when I feel as if I'm in a vulnerable space. So I'm open for other people to be vulnerable. And I'm open to affirm their vulnerability and support them and navigate them through that. But I think it's still hard for me to be vulnerable, and I think that's my boundary. And the way that I can hide it is that I just kind of over involve myself with you. Does that make
Naomi be good for like asking other people questions, and then like, oh, time's up, see you later.
But the thing is, I won't lie. Like if someone asks me, I will give you a succinct answer. Like, I never will say I'm uncomfortable saying this. Even in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I'm really feeling vulnerable, uncomfortable. I think folks have to ask me. So I'm not one that after someone kind of share their world and give me, the privilege of sharing their story and their journey, I then don't flip around and say, oh, well, it all started on this day in 87. I'm not the one to do that. I'm actually more interested in what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I think it takes a really introspective person to get to know kind of the different layers of Nyambi. Because I'm just seriously interested in other people and getting to know them. But as I get older, I realize it's a boundary that I put up.
Yep.
And I'm trying to figure out why I had that boundary up. But I do think it has to do something with vulnerability and navigating through that.
Yeah, and Diane be good for going through your glove box, so don't leave her in the passenger seat.
What are you talking about?
You be going through people's glove box and shit, and you just be doing.
I just go in yours.
No.
In my parents.
Everybody car I've ever seen you in.
I have not.
You be in a glove box. I'm like, what are you doing? Get out of their shit.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Anywho, what do you think? So having this conversation, it shows that we have two very different upbringings, and our ideas on boundaries are very different.
Yeah.
So how do you think? How do we mesh that together? So us dating and me, how did you process that?
I think one of the things is that we have like this whole yin yang thing happening. So when it's good, it's good. Like it just works off, and it works to be very succinct, and it goes very well. I think when it's bad, you can definitely see like the conflict of our boundaries. So I would say there's no like gray area. It's either it's super good and like the boundaries are good, and it just we play off at each other and play off our opposites and things of that sort. But there's other times where our opposites are like very heightened.
Like when? I was gonna ask you that.
know. I didn't know you was gonna ask me that.
Well, guess what?
Oh my God, I can't even think of that right now.
Yeah.
Pass.
What? You can't pass. See, that's that boundary.
Well, there you go, right there. I'm like, pass. Shit, I can't think of that right now.
Yeah.
Can you think of something?
When we're opposite, or we just are
when we're opposite.
Yeah, I think like if we get into like an argument, and it's the idea of not going to bed angry. And if I want to flesh it out more, I'm asking you questions, and you take it as that I'm interrogating you.
Yeah,
and I'm not interrogating you. I'm seeking to understand your point of view. And I'm not sharing my side of the story because you ain't asked me. So I see it as not my place to say my side because obviously you ain't interested. Okay. Ooh, maybe that's the petty part I got to work through.
Yeah, that is the petty part.
So I think, but I think boundaries are very, very, very important in relationships, and just reflecting on it, I think so much has to do kind of with your childhood and the experiences that you have that really shapes them, and it has to be conversations that you set up in creating boundaries. I know it was this article I read, they had like a six-step process on how to create boundaries. So the first one here, you want to read the first one?
Yeah, the first step is recognize and acknowledge your own feelings.
Yeah. Why you say it like that?
Because, working on my voice acting.
The ASMR?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
But it says recognize and acknowledge your own feelings, and just knowing that. I think that's the first step to anything. It's just knowing how you feel.
Yes.
And recognizing what that is.
Yes, I agree. And the next one is recognize how your boundaries have been crossed. So I think this is huge. I don't think you realize you need a boundary till it's been crossed. Do you have an example of like when one of your boundaries have been crossed that you're like, oh, hell no, you in my space. You done crossed the damn line.
Yes.
You got no pass on that one, huh?
When Nyambi goes through my glove box. And the next thing you know, I have to lock that bitch.
Okay, Nero. Thank you for taking your time and really thinking deeply about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think knowing when your boundaries have been crossed, it's not necessarily it's more of a feeling for me. So a lot of times when I know a boundary of mine has been crossed, it's a feeling of taken advantage of. So if I'm ever in that space where I'm like, dang, I feel like something ain't right, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, a lot of times that happens when a boundary has been crossed. So meaning that like someone's taking my niceness for weakness, or I've done something for someone and it's like, oh, is this how you're going to react? So that's how I really feel when I usually have those feelings of like, I feel like you're not appreciating me. You're taking advantage of me. So I think even in relationships, be it platonic or romantic, whenever you start getting those types of feelings, I think that's when a boundary's been crossed because someone hasn't respected a boundary. And I think it's key to, after you do that, then I think it's the next step is recognize how you need to set your boundary.
Yeah.
So once you realize what that is, you got to say, now hold on. It's time to set this boundary up, and this is why it's there.
Yeah, you got to lock your shit up.
Yeah, because once you recognize, what's causing you to feel, like I said, this sense of taking advantage of, but it also could be feelings of being overwhelmed, drained, or just simply bad. That's when you really need to say something. And examples of that could be like folks who are always borrowing money from you, not paying you back. People who, a boundary I had to work through was this idea of respecting of my time. Mm-hmm. I'm really used to be a timely person. When folks aren't timely to me, I see it as their time is more important than my time. So, really just setting up clear boundaries with myself and other people on what people could and could not be late to, and being clear. And when folks do that, standing firm in it and letting folks know when they mess up with that. The next step that they mentioned that I really like is something called getting grounded. So there's two things that often happen when boundaries and relationships are weak. So one, there's a backlash from the other person, or two, you feel guilty. I think for this reason, this is extremely important to get grounded kind of within yourself. You can only do this by taking some time to do the inner work, as we say. So meditation, tuning into your inner body, and, also remembering that your emotions are valid.
Yeah.
So
it's like doing some self-care.
Yeah.
Like you gotta know that you have the right to feel whatever you feel. Like you shouldn't feel wrong or feel like you're wrong for feeling that way.
Yes.
Like everyone has to be validated that yes, your feelings are normal, and
you have to process through it. Like I think it's even before the self-care. Like you have to process and acknowledge it. Next is voice it. This is my part. I think I'm at this stage in my life. You have to tell people how you should be treated.
Don't touch my shit.
Yeah, you have to be very clear on when folks are crossing these lines. And I think the piece that folks miss a lot, especially when it comes to friendships or romantic relationships, people just brush you off.
Yeah.
You'll tell people, oh, man, don't, when you do X, Y, and Z, this is how I feel. And people just brush you off. But the thing is, you have to get in their ass, and you have to have accountability behind that. And you have to make a decision as you choosing yourself or them. If they cannot respect that. Because it's a problem if they're not respecting that. Because if they're not respecting your boundaries, that, I'm about to go on a whole rant. That means they really don't have too much respect for themselves too. And it's just a whole chain reaction. And do you really need to have somebody in your life that don't respect basic boundaries you have? Is there a way when folks don't respect your boundaries, Niram? What do you do? I think this is a bit more Niram thing. If you have a boundary set up and someone crosses it, how do you correct them?
First time I'll be like, hey dog, like I feel some type of way about this shit.
Yeah.
Don't do it again. They do it again, it'd be a little bit firmer. Like, look here, nigga.
You say, okay.
I don't like when you do that.
Yes.
And they do it again, they ain't my friend no more.
Oh, yeah. But I think, and I know that seems a little extreme, but I think sometimes you have to go to that point.
Yeah.
And because you got to cut the fat in your relationship, you have to do it for your own mental health and your mental care when you're navigating.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be willing. I think that's one of the things that once you get 30.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm for real. Like something happens when you get 30 and you be like, you know what? I'm tired of these niggas.
Yeah.
And if these niggas ain't acting right and they over here overstepping my boundaries and disrespecting me and they constantly doing this shit, I got to let your ass go.
You got to let them go. And then if you're having this inner turmoil with yourself, you then have to ask, why are their feelings more important than your own?
Yeah.
Why is how they feel and how they view and kind of the comfort in their life more important than how you move and you navigate within the comfort of your life?
Yeah.
Like, these are serious questions you have to reflect on, because this is what these mean about having boundaries. Boundaries are what kind of keep this balance with you and moving forward. Also, something they said in the article they touched on briefly is kind of this idea of why boundaries don't work. So they say boundaries are often fail because they include the words like always, never, always. So this idea of absolute language. And other poor boundaries, others that have poor boundaries like alienate you from your partner. So this idea of a double standard or trying to manipulate the outcome. So for example, they said, if you're not home by 7 p.m. every night, I will not have sex with you. And if you don't do X, I will hurt myself. Or you're not allowed to do X because I can do it when I please. So does that make sense? Like you can't, that's not a boundary. That's gaslighting.
That is gaslighting.
So your boundary should not have outcomes for other people. Like, I think a lot of folks try to do this. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. Like I was being petty in the last episode. If you play that game, I'm going to break it.
No boundaries.
That's not a boundary, but a boundary could be, for me in a relationship, it's important for us to have time where it's just me and you. What does that mean? When can we set this time up? What does that time look like? How do we navigate through it instead of me breaking his game?
Yeah.
Also, another thing that really set boundaries so they don't work is including that are just they're vague. So including to say things like don't spend a lot of money this month, or pick up the kids from class or school a few times a week. But what
does
the hell
that mean?
What you have to put quantify.
Yes, I need specific.
Yes. And I think that's what folks don't like. And that means you have to get in the weeds. And then you have to understand yourself what you need. Yeah. So again, you can't expect other folks to know what you need or what that looks like. And for you to even understand, you have to be able to do that inner work. And then lastly, I would say people don't even talk about boundaries they have. They expect their partners just to know them. And that's unfair. You cannot expect people to be mind readers and just do what you expect, what you want, and you haven't even articulated that to them. That's not fair at all. I have to tell my girlfriends that.
That's being impeccable with your word. Like how niggas supposed to know how you want.
We might have to do a 4 agreements breakdown.
And if your ass ain't never said it, verbalized it.
Should we do a 4 agreements episode?
We should.
I love the 4 agreements. It's one of my favorite books. Oh my goodness. And then lastly, I found this last article. I like to find themes or articles around boundaries. Like it just kept coming to me. And it was about like 9 boundaries that you need to set up for a successful relationship. The first one is you need to set a boundary for what you call each other. I didn't even think about that. Mm. What do you think about that? So like names, nicknames, when do you call folks, in front of each other? Do you swear at each other? What do you think?
I think that's very interesting. I think it's more interesting on you because as long as we've been dating, like my nickname that you have for me has like evolved.
Yes.
And then you be looking at me like, well, what nickname do you have for me? And I'm like, well.
He don't.
Babe.
Nyambi. I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. But I thought it was interesting because in the article they were saying how, depending on people's past experience, again, because that's where boundaries are created, is it trigger words for certain things. Mm. So when folks say, I could just kill you or go kill yourself, if folks got a history of suicide, maybe that's not
right.
the most emotionally smart. What is it called? Emotional wellness, emotional intelligent thing to say at that moment. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't even thought about that. The second one they said that you need to set boundaries up is how you will fight.
Oh, shit.
That's something we didn't do till later in our relationship.
Yeah.
We didn't
Until we got therapy.
Because you don't know. Ain't nobody told me you're supposed to have a conversation about how you're supposed to fight before you start fighting. That's a key. That's a key. That's a major key.
It is.
We need to start telling folks, figure out how you going to fight before you fight. Because when you fight, honey, it goes down in the DM. Do you know? Mm-hmm. Then
when you get alone time?
Yeah, so the third one is you need to set boundaries on when you get alone time. What do you think about that, Nero?
We are good with that. Whatever,
we believe in some alone time. That's the only child in me.
I need Nero time.
I need Nyambi time. Please don't. Please only bring me water and lunch.
Can you go upstairs? And then you be like, all right, where you got? You got upstairs and downstairs.
Yes. And we be in the house, but we be separate the whole day. And we go to the point where we even decide like who's cooking, who's like delivering water and food to the person. Like, I'd be like, you on water duty. You need to make sure we get at least 64 ounces of water today. You just need to knock on my door every 3 hours with a container of water. And be like, have you drink today? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Nero.
The next one is how you act on social media. I think this is a problem we don't really
That's a millennial new shit. But I'm not on social media.
Yeah, exactly. Naomi is not even on social media. She ain't got no Facebook.
I'm on Twitter.
She on Twitter and she don't even tweet. So
it's just exhausting.
Naomi don't have no social media. So it's really about me.
Yeah.
And how I do on social media. And thing is, since I'm pretty dope at social media when it comes to like social media marketing and things of that sort, that's something Naomi don't have to really worry about.
But I think this is huge for the millennium.
Yeah,
folks.
it is though.
Like so. Do you put PDA on there? Do you share with each other,
Right.
like pictures of each other? Do you say you're in a relationship?
Right.
Like,
do you tag them on Facebook?
Are they friends with coworkers? Like, I think all that stuff. And like, what can you share? So, say if you're a yin yang couple, so say one is more of a creative, more just free flowing in the work that they do, and one is maybe in a professional corporate setting. So maybe somebody's social media is like Black Power,
right?
A lot of cussing, fussing, basically Nira Manayambi, and then the other person's like, I just got LinkedIn,
right?
And I can't be necessarily connected to you because I'm gonna mess up on opportunity. Like it's certain behaviors you can't have because your social presence goes on for decades. It don't go away. Actually, it don't go on for decades. It goes on forever. And how do you navigate that?
Yeah. The fifth one is what you share with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that money? Is that food? Is that...
Yeah, I think it could start as high as money. I think that's the high end of it. But I think it's as little as food. Because Niram used to hate when I took his food. He used to hate it.
Because...
his food or his clothes. That might be triggering for people.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And next is how you will communicate. So if you a talker and you got you a text or an emailer, it ain't gonna go. Boundaries gonna be crossed. So the person, if you constantly calling a text or emailer, you don't cross their boundaries because they feel like they don't have no space to breathe because you want them. And vice versa, if you sending a text and emails when people are calling you, they like, well, are you gonna connect to me?
Right.
Like, what are we doing? You have to somehow make a compromise through that.
And the last one, is this the last one? What?
No, almost.
What you will and won't do for each other.
Yes. This go back to that ride and die philosophy. I'm all about the ride and survive. So I think it's important to say, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do. Mm-hmm. If you go down this route, I'm not doing it. If you're doing this, it can be drugs. What's that game on the Black Love doc?
Yeah.
So a lot of people like, you get into this drug game and you start doing some illegal shit, I can't rock with you.
Yeah.
You go to jail, I can't rock with you. I can't do that. But I think it's important to say that stuff earlier. Next is, look, Niram's favorite thing. This is an interesting one. Not how often you will have sex, but how you will have sex. What you think about that, Niram? How?
Like doggy style missionary?
Yeah, the type that all sex is different.
Yeah.
Do you have sex? Do you fuck? Like, who initiates it? Is it only in the bedroom? What are you willing to try? What are you not willing to try? Are you monogamous? Are you not monogamous? Can you bring people in the room? All those are boundaries and expectations.
It sure is.
And imagine if you don't have that conversation, how left field that can go.
I had a friend that him and his partner only had sex in the bedroom, and I thought that was just so weird.
What?
So y'all got this whole house.
What you...
And he'd be like, yeah, man, but she only want to have sex in the bedroom. Like, she's just religious like that. I was like,
what that had to do with the Lord?
It's like, I didn't know the Lord.
What'd you say to him?
I said, Adam and Eve just had a fucking tree. So what the bedroom got to
do with
this shit?
It was just in the forest. Hold on, his response is she religious like that. What did they have to do with anything? That's hilarious.
I don't know.
See,
what
everybody be bringing the Lord into stuff that he don't got nothing to do with. That ain't in the Bible. The Lord ain't say only have sex in the bedroom.
Shit, because they ain't had bedrooms back then. Allegedly.
Okay. Lastly, the last one that they recommended is figuring out how you will commit to each other, period. So are you in an open relationship? Are you in a, monogamous relationship? Or, when do you talk about engagement? Is it just y'all? Are you an item? Like all that stuff. I think all those things are boundaries that you need to set up. That was an interesting combo.
That was an interesting combo.
Boundaries are serious.
It is serious. And y'all need to get some out there. Y'all need them from work. Y'all need them for your partner.
Yeah.
Y'all need them for your mama. Y'all
Everybody.
need them. Everybody
Friends.
need boundaries.
Everybody
Friends.
needs boundaries. Yeah. And have it.
Yes.
I now think about to that kitchen table talk we had with the Brussels cuss with the video game.
Uh-huh.
Like that would have been a good conversation on boundaries. Like that would have been a good way to flip it. Because again, I don't think it's about the video game. Like I don't think Brussels cuss cared that. I think it was a male played the video game, but I think it was the timing. It's like it's almost like a lack of that was their intimacy time, and he was playing the video game. So again, I think that could have been a boundary conversation.
Yeah, it could have.
Yeah.
Well, that was a dope episode.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, so to submit your Black Love Story, go to blacklovematters.com/love story. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. That's black with no K. If you want to leave us a comment about anything that we talk about, you can head on over to blacklovematters.com and leave a comment on the blog. You can leave one on SoundCloud, or you can leave us a voicemail, and that's at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. We'll talk to you guys later, and remember, love is ever evolving.
Peace.
Peace.